If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my story. Your support helps us continue sharing hidden tales of love and loss. Let's build a community where every broken heart finds a voice. Thank you for being part of this journey. Today, we find ourselves immersed in a collection of tales, each one whispering the timeless question, am I the villain in this unfolding drama of hearts? Text, my heart races at the thought of sharing these moments with you, so let us dive into this enchanting tale together. Am I the villain for asking my beloved wife and her cherished daughter to leave my home? In the tapestry of life, I, a 30-year-old man, and my beloved wife, Andy, a radiant 32-year-old woman, have woven our hearts together for nearly 3 enchanting years. We have been united in love for one of those beautiful years. Our connection is effortless and beautiful, as if we were meant to be together. Yet, there exists a delicate challenge in the form of her daughter, Carrie, a spirited 16-year-old who adds a layer of complexity to their unfolding tale. She is the cherished daughter from my beloved's past union. 5 years ago, fate took a tragic turn when her father, my wife's former partner, was lost in a car accident. When Andy and I began our journey together, we embraced the beauty of taking our time. She held off on introducing me to Carrie, waiting until the bond between us deepened and blossomed into something truly meaningful. When I first crossed paths with Carrie, she seemed to hold herself at a distance, her demeanor wrapped in an air of coldness that left me bewildered. Yet, I found myself grasping the essence of it all, naturally. I sought to weave our lives together, cherishing moments spent in each other's company. Yet, I always respected her wishes, never urging her towards anything that didn't resonate with her heart. I gently encouraged her to call me by my first name, assuring her that I had no desire to take the place of her father. All I ever desired was for our hearts to harmonize. Though the sun shone brighter in our days together, there were moments when her words cut like a cold breeze, leaving me to wonder about the warmth we once shared. In the quiet moments of uncertainty, I held my tongue, guided by my wife's gentle wisdom to allow her the space she needed. After we exchanged our vows, everything took a passionate turn. I extended an invitation to my beloved and her cherished daughter to share the warmth of my home. In that moment, Andy's heart swelled with an undeniable sense of connection, and he found himself nodding in agreement, as if the universe had conspired to bring them to this very decision together. Her daughter, however, seemed to drift in a different direction. Yet, at the tender age of 16, fate left her with no options, as my beloved made a decision that would forever intertwine their destinies. It was then that the first shadows began to creep into their once perfect world. In the heart of their shared home, Carrie would create chaos in the kitchen, shattering delicate glasses and plates, leaving behind a trail of sharp remnants that whispered of her wild spirit. In moments of passion, she would cast her frustrations into the world beyond our window, her words sharp and unyielding, echoing through the quiet streets and stirring the hearts of those around us. It would occur with a gentle regularity, like the soft rhythm of a heartbeat, twice a week. In moments of passion, my emotions would surge, and I found myself raising my voice, urging her to tidy the chaos that surrounded us. Yet, I never touched her in anger, nor did I ever raise a hand against her. My beloved gently urged her to change her ways, yet her words seemed to drift away like whispers in the wind, leaving no trace behind. For a year, their journey unfolded like a delicate dance, each moment woven with threads of longing and connection. Last week, she had truly captivated my heart. As Andy and I strolled home from a delightful dinner, we noticed the garage door standing wide open, inviting us into the warmth of our shared sanctuary. In that fateful moment, we stumbled upon Carrie, her passion igniting as she unleashed her fury upon my car. My heart races for my BMW X5, a treasure that embodies elegance and allure. With a swift motion, she pressed the sharp object into the rubber, a fierce act of passion, while her keys danced across the surface, leaving a trail of her emotions behind. In a moment of overwhelming emotion, I lost all sense of restraint. With a playful glint in my eye, I gently teased her, calling her my mischievous little bee, urging her to flutter away from my home. My beloved stood by her side, expressing that Carrie was merely expressing her feelings, and urged me not to label her in such a way. In a moment of heated passion, I confronted my beloved wife, expressing my deep frustration. I declared that if she could accept Carrie's actions that shattered my world, then perhaps she too should find her own path away from me. For a fleeting quarter of an hour, our voices danced in a passionate exchange, each word a spark igniting the air between us. In the heat of our disagreement, I expressed my desire for Carrie to take responsibility for my car. I felt a surge of emotion as I declared that if she refused, I would be left with no choice but to seek justice through legal means. In the quiet solitude of my garage, a camera stands sentinel, capturing every fleeting moment, preserving the essence of time like a cherished memory waiting to be unveiled. Andy whispered to me that I was incapable of such a thing, calling me heartless in a moment that felt like a storm brewing between us. In a moment of passion and resolve, I urged them both to gather their belongings and leave my heart behind. The clock approached the enchanting hour of noon. With hearts full of hope, they gathered their belongings and set forth into the unknown. As I reflect on those moments, a gentle understanding washes over me. I realize that perhaps I could have navigated the storm with a steadier heart, yet deep down, I sense that this was a chapter meant to unfold in our story. Our paths are diverging, and I find myself seeking counsel to address the heartache caused by Carrie's actions that led to the ruin of my beloved car. My heart ached as I watched her unravel the beauty around us, her actions casting shadows over the love we once shared. In a moment of vulnerability, I confided in my parents, only to find that my mother harbored a different sentiment, casting me in a less than favorable light. In a moment of anticipation, a new chapter unfolds. It has been a few weeks since that fateful moment, time that feels both distant and achingly close. In a quiet moment, I found myself sitting across from my beloved, our hearts intertwined as we shared our thoughts and dreams, enveloped in the warmth of our connection. She yearned to rekindle the flame of our union, to embrace the possibility of a second chance, yet I found myself whispering the words of farewell, longing for a different path. Though the journey was fraught with challenges, I believe it led me to the right choice in the end. My heart remains entwined with hers, yet I yearn to avoid the turmoil that once surrounded us. Last year unfolded like a tempest, a challenging chapter that tested my spirit. In the midst of the storm, I realized the importance of nurturing my heart and soul, prioritizing my well-being above all else. Though the path was fraught with challenges for Andy, there was a glimmer of understanding in her heart. We both felt that this choice would bring greater happiness to Carrie. It is with heartfelt concern that I suggest seeking professional guidance for her daughter, as Carrie has embarked on her journey of healing through therapy just last week. We found ourselves in a lawyer's office where we took the final step in our journey together, signing the papers that would forever change our paths. It unfolded with a gentle grace, as if time itself had conspired to weave their destinies together in a seamless dance. Our union was bound by a contract, our finances kept apart, and yet, like a fleeting dream, our love story lasted just a year. Though a few delicate matters linger in the air, the grand tale has reached its conclusion. In a quiet corner of the world, I found myself in the presence of my lawyer, a figure who held the keys to my future. We received a glimpse into the extent of the car's wounds, and it reveals a heavy burden to bear. 2 tires marred by cruel slashes, deep scratches tracing a tale of anguish across the car's surface, and windows that bear the scars of a love once whole, now cracked and fragile. It all revolves around a sum of €6,000, a figure that holds the promise of dreams yet to be realized. In my country, where the average monthly salary dances around €1,000, this amount feels like a treasure, a promise of dreams waiting to be fulfilled. We reached out to my insurance company, only to discover that they do not embrace the misfortunes of vandalism or any form of damage that has befallen us. My lawyer, with a furrowed brow and a tone of concern, urged me to seek the authorities and hold her accountable. In the midst of uncertainty, he took my hand and whispered that if the winds of fate turned against us, this would be our beacon of hope. And so, I took that step. A few days later, I found myself sitting across from Andy, our hearts heavy with the weight of the situation that had unfolded between us. We each had our trusted advisors by our side, guiding us through the intricate dance of legalities that surrounded our union. With a heavy heart, I confessed to her that my insurance would not come to my aid, and I found myself yearning for her to take on the burden of the damage that lay between us. She whispered softly, revealing her financial struggles with a hint of vulnerability. In a twist of fate, they found themselves under the same roof as her parents, a temporary haven filled with warmth and shared laughter. Yet, as she dreams of a place to call their own, the urgency for every penny grows, each coin a step closer to their future together. In a moment of kindness, I stepped forward to cover the cost of the damage, knowing that she would repay me when her circumstances allowed. It was a gesture born from trust and understanding, a promise of connection that lingered in the air between us. With a gentle smile, she nodded in agreement. In a twist of fate, I found myself in a position where I had to make a choice that would forever alter the course of Carrie's life. The weight of my decision hung heavy in the air, knowing that it would leave a mark on her future. Yet, as I reflected on the events that led us here, I couldn't help but feel that she had woven her own path into this tangled web of consequences. And in a couple of weeks, she will find herself standing before a court, where the echoes of justice and the whispers of hope intertwine in a delicate dance. My lawyer whispered that it is likely she will find herself in the embrace of a court-ordered psychiatrist, along with a few hours dedicated to community service. In the midst of a tempestuous fortnight, when shadows loomed large and the weight of the world felt unbearable, the unwavering support of my cherished friends illuminated my path. Their kindness and love were the gentle whispers that guided me through the storm, and now, as the clouds part and the sun breaks through, I find solace in the warmth of their companionship, grateful that this chapter has come to a close. Moreover, I am deeply grateful for your thoughtful insights and warm words. How admirable it is to see you hold steadfast to your beliefs, dear one. And do not let your heart be heavy for seeking help regarding Carrie. You bestowed upon her a cherished gift. In the tender moments of youth, when mischief dances in the heart, a gentle guiding hand is essential. Without the soft whispers of consequence, the spirit may wander astray, leading to a future where the shadows of past choices loom larger, entwining her in a web of troubles yet to come. Even in her moments of sorrow and disbelief, it does not grant her the freedom to act without consequence. She finds solace in sharing her heart's burdens, allowing her emotions to flow like a gentle stream, releasing the weight of anger and grief with every whispered word. To mar the beauty of someone's cherished possession, leaving behind a mark that costs €6,000 to mend, is a betrayal of trust that cannot be overlooked. If you believe the last tale was enchanting, prepare your heart for this next chapter. In a moment of vulnerability, the poster wonders if they are the villain in their own love story for suggesting to their beloved that they should reconsider their union if she cannot embrace the presence of their cherished female best man. In the enchanting month of March, I, a 28-year-old man, found the courage to ask for the hand of my beloved, Jasmine, who is 24. Earlier this week, as we shared our dreams of a future together, she spoke with excitement about her chosen bridesmaids, her eyes sparkling with joy. She gently inquired about my groomsmen, weaving together the threads of our love story, imagining who would stand by our sides on that magical day. With a heart full of anticipation, I gently shared with her that my best man would be none other than my dearest friend, Kate, a radiant soul of 27 years. Jasmine felt a wave of panic wash over her, her heart racing as she insisted with fervor that she could never take on the role of the best man. With a gentle curiosity, I inquired about her reasons, and she unveiled a tapestry of explanations, each thread woven with care, yet my heart whispered doubts about their truth. She expressed her concerns, whispering that the photos might capture an odd moment, imagining the scene as Kate gracefully walked down the aisle alongside her maid of honor. She worried that Kate's presence might draw attention away from the beauty of the day, pondering the contrast of her petite frame beside a lineup of towering gentlemen. The reasons seemed utterly absurd, and I conveyed my thoughts to her with heartfelt sincerity. With a gentle smile, she expressed her desire for the wedding to unfold just as she envisioned, guiding me towards other worthy souls who could stand by my side as best men. Though the shadows of jealousy may linger, I find myself unwilling to simply abandon the delicate threads of her insecurities. My heart yearns for understanding, not to let go of what binds us. Our hearts clashed in a tempest of emotions, leading us into a passionate disagreement. In the midst of our passionate disagreement, Jazz's heart ached with frustration as I stood firm in my beliefs, while my own spirit simmered with irritation at her seemingly erratic behavior. She looked at me with a gaze full of suspicion, questioning my deep desire to have Kate by my side on that special day. With a heavy heart, I whispered to her that if she couldn't grant me this one cherished desire, perhaps the dream of our wedding should be reconsidered entirely. In a moment of heated passion, she turned to me, her eyes ablaze with emotion, and urged me to step away from the sanctuary we once shared. For the past few days, I've found solace on a friend's couch, but my heart still wanders, not to Kate. In a moment filled with tension, I approached Jazz, my heart racing. She looked at me, her eyes searching for something, and asked if I was ready to apologize. I felt a wave of defiance wash over me as I replied with a firm no, determined not to let her believe she was right in forbidding Kate from being part of our special day. And before anyone inquires, my answer remains a gentle no. Kate and I have always shared a bond that transcends the realms of passion and romance. She has been a cherished companion, the one who opened the door to my vibrant world of friends. Once upon a time, there was a shy and endearing soul, a dreamer who found it difficult to connect with others in the bustling world around him. Once upon a time, there was a charmingly awkward soul, a nerdy fellow who found himself navigating the enchanting world of social connections. We journeyed through the trials of grad school side by side, and she has stood by me through every peak and valley of my life. It feels utterly unimaginable to celebrate this momentous occasion without her by my side. In the delicate dance of their lives, Jazz and Kate were familiar faces, yet their hearts had not intertwined as friends. As time flowed like a gentle river, Jazz learned to embrace the warmth of my bond with a close female companion, casting aside any shadows of jealousy and mistrust that once lingered. But that was merely the beginning of my journey. Am I the villain in this tale? Revise. It is worth noting that Jasmine has never displayed such behavior before. She is typically gentle and accommodating, like a soft breeze on a warm summer day. She didn't so much as push me away. Instead, she softly suggested, "Well, perhaps you should just leave then." With a heart full of uncertainty, I dared to challenge her facade and walked away, leaving behind the echoes of what could have been. She reached out, hoping to draw me back into her embrace and whisper words of forgiveness, yet we both stood firm, our hearts stubbornly clinging to our desires. In the depths of my heart, I find myself torn. The thought of calling off the wedding sends shivers through my soul, and I understand the storm of emotions that swept over Jazz when I voiced such a notion. Yet, I felt compelled to reveal the gravity of my feelings, to show her just how deeply I care. Whispers of change dance in the air. In the tender embrace of fate, my beloved and I found our way back to each other, mending our hearts just a few days later. We found ourselves navigating the delicate dance of understanding, where every word felt like a heartbeat, and I believed we were on the path to healing, inching closer to a brighter tomorrow. Oh, how I long to simply let it rest there, a fleeting moment suspended in time. She has become a cherished memory of a love that once blossomed. Just a fortnight after the storm of our disagreement, a messenger from Jez reached out to me. She confided in me that Jasmine had been pouring her heart out to her friends about the situation with Kate, and the weight of it all became too much for her to bear in silence, for it felt unjust to me. In a moment of vulnerability, a friend shared with me whispers exchanged between Jasmine and themselves. Within those words, Jasmine unveiled her doubts, casting shadows of mistrust upon me and Kate, while allowing her feelings to spill forth in a manner that felt both hurtful and revealing. If that were the case, I would feel a spark of anger, but not the raging fire of fury. In a twist of fate, the dialogue unfolded into a tapestry of confusion, leaving me adrift in a sea of uncertainty. Yet, amidst the tangled words, I grasped the essence of what was shared, a fleeting connection that lingered in the air. The friend who reached out to me shared the secrets she held close to her heart. Once upon a time, before the promise of forever was made, Jez found themselves entangled in a fleeting romance. It was said to be a fleeting moment, a single encounter with a man who had since faded from her life, yet doubt lingered in my heart, leaving me uncertain of the truth. From the whispers of the messages exchanged, it appears that such was indeed the truth. It seemed that all her friends were in on a secret, while I remained blissfully unaware, caught in the delicate web of her charm. As I spoke with Jaz, her words danced around the truth, but I stood firm, my heart resolute. I whispered that it mattered not, and with a heavy heart, I urged her to take her leave. In a moment of turmoil, she expressed her frustration, and I found myself stepping away from the warmth of my own home, drawn by the weight of her emotions. With a heavy heart, I warned her that I would reveal her secrets to the world if she didn't gather her things and leave before my return. It blossomed beautifully. 2 days later, I returned, only to find that she had vanished from my life. She reached out, hoping to mend the rift between us, but my heart has chosen a different path. At this moment, the ring holds no significance for me, she may cherish it as she wishes. My heart yearns for her presence, yet I find myself hesitant to embrace the moment. In that moment, a wave of vulnerability washed over me, leaving me feeling small and insignificant, as if the world had turned its back, and I stood alone in the shadows of my own insecurities. My heart held the secret of why we parted ways, truth I chose to keep hidden from the world. Unfazed by the whispers of others, my heart remains untouched by the tales spun around me. The past month and a half has felt like a tempest, yet amidst the chaos, I find myself gently piecing together my shattered pride. Each day, I whisper to my heart that her choices were hers alone, not a reflection of my worth. It unfolds like a dance, where fate intertwines with chance, leading to a harmonious union about half the time. And because I sense that some of you might inquire, believing this to be a light-hearted tale, I didn't rush to seek out Kate. It has been a while since our words have danced together, her voice a distant melody in the silence that surrounds me. In the quiet solitude of these days, I have found a certain sweetness in the stillness, a gentle embrace of solitude that wraps around me like a warm blanket. My heart aches for you, dear one. It appears she was casting her own shadows upon you and Kate, a reflection of her own betrayals, a tale as old as time where the heart often falters and strays. Though the path we tread may feel heavy with sorrow, your choice was a beacon of hope, guiding us towards a brighter tomorrow. In this moment of heartache, we shall find strength and emerge stronger together. Oh, what a journey it has been, filled with trials, yet each moment brings us closer to something beautiful. Next up, am I the villain for raising my voice at my former love in the presence of our precious daughters? In the tapestry of my life, I am a 37-year-old man blessed with 3 enchanting daughters, aged 8, 10, and 12, each a radiant star in my universe. In a moment that shattered the fragile bonds of our family, their mother chose to leave us behind, drawn away by the allure of another's embrace when our youngest was just a tender 4 years old. My former love still lingers in my life, reaching out and providing support for our shared treasure. In a moment that seemed to pause time, as I tended to the mundane task of laundry, my gaze fell upon unexpected crimson marks on my eldest's delicate garments. With a trembling voice, I inquired if she was aware of the situation. Tears welled in her eyes as she confessed her longing to reach out to her mother, only to be met with silence from my past love. In a moment of quiet desperation, she found herself tucking soft layers of toilet paper into her pants, clinging to the hope that this small act might bring her the comfort she so deeply desired. With a gentle smile, I shared with her that there is no shame in the natural rhythm of life, and together we discovered some wonderful resources that would illuminate our understanding. With a gentle smile, I led her to the store, where she could choose the brands of feminine products that spoke to her heart. She chose Playtex Sport, a decision as graceful as her movements on the mat, reflecting her passion as a gymnast. Once our moment had passed, I felt a longing to share that same experience with my other 2 beloveds. My 12-year-old eagerly stepped forward to join in the preparations, and together we transformed the evening into a beautiful shared experience. It was a beautiful experience, filled with moments of discovery and growth. In my journey of discovery, I stumbled upon the enchanting world of menstrual cups and the beautiful ways they nurture our planet. Not long ago, a familiar voice from my past reached out to me. In the quiet moments, I often set the stage for a heartfelt exchange, stepping away to allow them the space to connect. Once their intimate conversation concludes, I return, ready to navigate the practicalities of our shared journey, discussing the everyday matters that bind us together. In that moment, my former love's anger flared like a tempest, ignited by my innocent conversation with the girls about something so natural and intimate. In a moment of heated passion, she raised her voice, her words cutting through the air like a sharp blade, accusing me of being twisted and unwell. Why didn't I reach out to her myself when I felt the weight of urgency in my heart? Though I could have reached out to their grandmothers or aunts, my heart hesitated. My mother, lost in the shadows of dementia, and her family, who cast me aside with harsh words for my choice to teach kindergarten, left me feeling distant and unwelcomed. The warmth of connection seemed just out of reach. My former love once whispered that I was being naive, suggesting I should have endured for the sake of the little ones. In a moment of heated passion, I found myself raising my voice, expressing my frustration. I couldn't help but wish that if she had been more present, perhaps we could have navigated this together, hand in hand, instead of letting the distance grow between us. With a heavy heart, I spoke of the ways her actions cast shadows upon their bond. In the span of 2 long years, she has yet to witness the thrill of a soccer game, the beauty of a piano recital, or the grace of a gymnastics meet. Every other weekend, as they return from her home, they retreat to their rooms, only to reappear hours later, their hearts heavy with the question of why she seems to cherish her new husband more than them. What could have possibly driven her away from them? In a moment charged with emotion, my former love suggested I reassure her that the fault lay not in her, but in my inability to fulfill her desires. Overwhelmed, I let out a cry of frustration, only to find her smirking, her gaze directed behind me, as if revealing the remnants of what once was. As I turned, my heart sank at the sight of my 2 little ones, their eyes glistening with tears, framed by the doorway like a poignant moment in a tale of love and longing. It shattered my soul. In the quiet moments, my heart raced, knowing the impact of my silence had left them trembling. My young daughter burst into the room, her voice filled with passion as she defended me fiercely. Though my heart swelled with gratitude for her unwavering loyalty, I knew deep down that this was not a conflict I wished for her to engage in. In a moment of tension, my former love hung up before I could soothe the storm brewing between us. Now, the girls have been granted endless access to ice cream and hours of video games, a sweet distraction from the ache in my heart. In the glow of the screen, I found myself lost in the world of Twilight, sharing every moment with him, testament to my affection. Yet, in this particular instance, I wonder, am I the villain for raising my voice? In a moment of anticipation, a new chapter unfolds. Last weekend, the girls found themselves enveloped in the warmth of their mother's embrace. As the evening shadows danced around us after she had bid farewell, my 12-year-old sought a moment of intimacy, yearning to share something in the quiet of our own world. As we stepped into her room, she turned to me with a spark in her eyes, revealing 2 recordings she had captured on her phone. In a tale woven with shadows of the past, one of my former loves sought to paint me as the villain, whispering tales of mistreatment. Meanwhile, another scene unfolded, where she and her partner clashed over the burdens of financial obligations, their voices rising like a tempest in the night. And I must confess, my cousin, a skilled family court lawyer, put her through a trial that felt like a tempest, leaving her vulnerable and exposed. Though the situation was far from beautiful, my heart ached deeply from the betrayal. In the aftermath of our passionate journey, I found myself receiving a token of what once was a bittersweet reminder of love lost. In a moment filled with the weight of responsibility, my 12-year-old shared her heart with me. She expressed a longing to stay, to remain close, yet felt an undeniable pull to her mother's side. It was as if she carried the mantle of the eldest sibling, a guardian of innocence, determined to shield her younger siblings from the uncertainties that lay ahead. From the very beginning, I have woven this cherished belief into the fabric of her being. I am the eldest in my family. Yet, witnessing this only deepened my sorrow, for it felt like yet another struggle she was enduring, a burden she should never have to bear. In the midst of her heartache, she began to uncover the truth about her mother's betrayal. Over the past few weeks, a torrent of questions flowed from her lips, each one a delicate thread woven into the fabric of their shared history, leaving me at a loss for the answers she sought. And after revealing the recordings, she gazed into my eyes, her voice soft yet insistent, urging me to respond, yes or no. Did her mother betray my trust? It was a moment fraught with tension, yet I found the courage to unveil my heart's secret, whispering my truth with a vow that it would remain just between us, away from the ears of her sisters. Though it may be a burden, it is my duty to bear, not hers to shoulder. The way her tears fell upon my shoulder felt like the weight of the world, a moment so profound it etched itself into my very soul. Yet, she was beginning to sense the truth, and I thought that if the moment of revelation was inevitable, it should unfold in a place where her heart felt at ease. Once her tears had dried, I gently suggested she send me the recordings she had captured, and then I reached out to my cousin. We've just begun the journey of paperwork, but my cousin is filled with hope that we can hold my ex accountable for the heartache caused by their actions. And ever since she received that well-deserved promotion a few months back, it feels like the perfect moment to revisit the child support payments, allowing us to create a more harmonious future for our little one. Above all, the recordings must serve as the foundation for the cherished moments I long to share, allowing me the opportunity for supervised visits, which is all I desire. My heart yearns for the girls to nurture a bond with their mother, particularly as the younger two still long to be in her presence. I must ensure that I am always by her side, cherishing every moment we share together. Co-parenting is a delightful adventure, dear ones. In the midst of this journey, my heart swells with gratitude for the warm and encouraging words that have wrapped around me like a tender embrace. Recently, I stumbled upon a treasure trove of messages, hidden away like whispers in the night. My heart raced as I realized that the Reddit is Fun app on my phone had kept these sweet notes from me, shrouded in mystery, for it does not reveal the chatroom's tender exchanges. Though I may stumble in the realm of technology, where my skills often falter, my heart finds its true calling in nurturing the spirits of little ones. The joy I derive from this cherished path is unmatched, and I would never exchange it for any other journey. Your presence in their lives is a beautiful gift, and your daughters are truly fortunate to have such a wonderful father by their side. Your unwavering dedication shines brightly, even as shadows loom, for you strive to nurture a bond between them and her, all for the sake of their happiness. That is truly wonderful. Wishing you all the best, dear one.